Welcome, welcome. As people get in, I'm going to be just hanging out for a few minutes, just letting people filter in and moving around some windows here. It is time. It is time. Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go. It's going to be a whole thing. Yes, it is an IEM. We're going to be talking about it here in a few minutes. Just let people join in. Checking my mic levels. I'm Joe. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe. I'm the marketing director here at Antlion. I do other things too. I basically do everything and nothing, if I'm being honest sometimes. Nothing days are the best day. Oh, Sightless Combat. How have you been? Um, I like the use of the word "see" in your particular case. Yes, I got that in London, the Dalek poster. I got it in London. On a boy, I think I was there for what is it called? Res, the gaming expo, many years ago. There's a Back to the Future poster. You can't see it right here, right? That's the other poster on the wall. And there's above the computer there are a Super Scope 6 and the Sega version of the Super Scope 6, which I can't even think of the name of. Hello, Austin. Just gonna give people a few more minutes. Give maybe we'll start at like 11:05, 11:04, somewhere around there. EGX Res, that's right. Yep. Yeah, I was there for the game Guns of Icarus Online, which I worked for at the time, and spent some extra days in London. Found that poster at I don't know where. I don't even remember anymore. Some random shop, and I was like, I need to get this. This is To Victory at the top. Fantastic. My wife and I are big Doctor Who fans. Old and new. Old and new. Yeah. On the bottom, those are all ModMic 5s. There's actually more off screen as well. This is sort of the hub of where review units go out from if they're going out to places that our warehouses don't serve. So, for instance, if a reviewer in India wants a mod mic, they come from me, and that's our system. If somebody in the United States wants one, we usually send it from the warehouse, unless they want something very specific. Yeah, it's ModMic 5s on the bottom, the old ModMic 5s, and then some wireless, and then like adapters and like unis and USBs and some renewed stuff on top. Excellent sightless, good to hear. I see general chat is popping off too. Good. Good, good, good. Again, I'm Joe. We're going to be talking about the Kimura. If any of you are really, really impatient, some clever Googling will probably find stuff because some of the pages are already live on our site. But, stick around for my brilliant personality. The Kimura is the name of the new product. And yes, it is related to IEMs, and we're going to be talking about that. I've already sent one to Critical. Don't worry about that. And good to hear that the mic is sounding good. I apologize if there's any weird background artifacts or whatever. Hey, David, good to hear from you. Yes, and I have not seen you in person in quite a while, but hopefully soon. We're definitely going to get to, well, the what and the why Kimura, why we chose this name. And we're definitely expecting some product graphs. Yeah, Kryn and us are relatively close. We definitely like Kryn's work, and yeah, well, there's never any guarantees that somebody will cover it, but it's definitely likely, I hope. All right, and I think I'm gonna get started here. It's 11:04. I think if people are filtering a little late, hello, Bobby. So once again, I'm Joe. I'm the marketing director here at Antlion. I handle all the insane marketing things from review units to doing advertising. I also somehow ended up in charge of our Amazon warehouse and of course our Discord, which I keep our close eye on. Yes, somebody has already found the hidden videos. That's fine. We're definitely going to be showing that at the end, so you don't have to watch it now. And it's definitely better at talking about the product than I am, to be honest, because it's all scripted. But hey, stick around and hang out. Okay, let's talk about Kimura. As you're seeing in my ears, on my head, this is the Kimura. It is an attachable, detachable microphone system, just like the mod mic. Think of it about as the mod mic for IEMs. It's going to come in two forms, MMCX and 2-pin. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, so the idea is why not be able to use your IEMs for streaming or for just gaming or whatever? So it is wired, as you see, and I know immediately we're going to get the question, when's the wireless one coming out? We definitely want to, but we want to see how demand looks for this. This is not a brand new concept. There have been a couple competitors that have made like similar IEM headset microphones, for lack of a better term. But in our estimation, nobody's done a very good job at it. It's never been something that's been like perfected. And we hope that ours is going to be a step above what we've seen out there so far. We chose the name Kimura specifically because, one, the owner of the company, Jimmy, he loves martial arts in general. And the Kimura is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's not actually a BJJ. It's a martial arts hold developed by a guy named Kimura, originally for, not BJJ, for judo. And we wanted to equate that to sort of the feel of security and comfort you get. You'll notice that the mic itself wraps around the back of your ear before coming forward. And we do that for that increased stability, that Kimura hold. And it also gives it a nice streamlined look. Some of the other, sometimes you'll see other similar products where the mic is coming out of the top here and down. We found that is both uncomfortable and not stable. It tends to pull on your ear if you move your head back and forth. So yeah, we got rid of that. And we opted for this, which is part of our patent as well, the around ear design. So that's why we named it Kimura. It's all about that Kimura arm lock and that perfect hold. We also have, in our tradition, a bendable boom arm. So this thing is fully flexible. I can move it down or up as I need to. I apologize for the microphone noise doing that. But yes, it is fully bendable. You can bend it into corkscrews just like you can the mod mic. So we're sticking to that strategy. The mic itself is omnidirectional, and you are, of course, hearing it live. There is nothing particularly advanced being done to it. We haven't changed the EQ settings or anything like that. It terminates in two 3.5 millimeters and includes a Y adapter in any one you purchase. There are four products. One is the Solo and the Duo, which are the in-ear headsets, and the other two are the mic only. So if you have your own IEMs, a 2-pin, and an MMCX version. So we've got that. Those are the four Kimura products, and we'll be talking a little bit about the IEMs in a second. Yeah. So, well, yeah, that's the general product idea and concept. And oh, by the way, I'm sure you guys are going to have questions. Some of you are probably already asking them. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. But if I miss those questions, post them again. But we'll get to the questions at the end. So we have the Solo and the Duo. Let me grab a box. Whoa, that box had a wire on it. Kimura Solo, as people are already posting pictures of it in chat. Super nice box. One thing you'll notice, I want to talk about the boxes for a second because we spent so much time and effort on them. Sightless Combat, this is the Kimura mic you are hearing live right now. So it's not some third-party mic or some secret mic off screen. I can poke it and make a bunch of noise if you'd like. Okay. Will there be an anime character mascot? No, we're not. What is that? KZ that does that? Yeah, we went with the dark mode box, getting back to our roots a little bit. The back of the box, you'll notice a rip tab up here. One, it's very satisfying to open. Two, we're doing that on this and all future boxes because we've actually had reports, and you may have seen this. We've had reports of Amazon customers getting returned items sold as new. Sometimes that's not a problem if your product is, say, a product that can just be opened and reused. But for a product like a mod mic, something that you're sticking in your ears, we really don't want people sending used products. So we got rip tabs. Definitely a worthwhile endeavor. You are seeing in my ear the Solo. The Solo is red. The Duo is blue. I'll show you, get a little clearer picture, I hope, of the IEM itself. Maybe even turn it right side up. They are beautiful handcrafted resin. Standard ports for ear tips. It does come with standard. It does come with standard silicon ear tips as well as a memory foam. We'll actually get to the box contents here. I've got a Duo box. There is a hilarious printing error on the Duo box, but we'll get to that in a blog post at launch. It's nothing major. Just they put the wrong picture on the front. Okay, so inside the box, I guess we'll do this live on camera, actually. Ooh, inside the box is another box. Toss this box away. Box opens. Ooh la la. Magnifique. And yes, all the text is going to be reversed for you guys. Inside, of course, we've got our two IEMs, the blue ones. I'm going to pull these guys out. And our Y adapter. Again, so we terminate in those two 3.5 millimeter terminations for a very, very specific reason, which is that we found when reviewing a lot of the, let's just call them competitor for lack of a better word, similar products, they had a problem with picking up the IEM output into the mic line, and we discovered that's due to the length of the ground and the low impedance of the IEMs, we think. Anyway, by splitting out the two terminations, we get rid of that problem. So we won't have that. You can crank up the volume on your IEMs and not have it bleed into the mic line. So yes, we terminate in the two of these guys. Another thing it's included, we have memory foam ear tips, just one set of sort of universal mid-size memory foam. And, of course, we wouldn't be Antlion Audio without a hard shell carrying case. Looking sharp. RGB version, that will come after the wireless version. Thank you, Invader. The blue IEMs of the Duo are blue and also quite pretty. And the other thing I wanted to show off was, of course, it has the standard MMCX connector. So all our IEMs have MMCX, and the only one that's a 2-pin is the mic-only 2-pin version. I definitely missed something very important in there, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Oh, right, the difference between the Solo and the Duo. So we named the Solo not because it's a single ear, you can see on this side, I've got two, but because it has a single dynamic driver. I want to talk about the sound of these guys. We went with a very elevated bass. This is a really punchy, cinematic IEM. It's going to be good if you want to, play some action games, watch some action movies. It is definitely not a technical IEM. We are not trying to create something that musicians are going to use. And the Duo contains an additional balanced armature for a more V-shaped sound. It's got that treble-based armature in there, and it's going to deliver a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more sound stage, we'll call it. What's the word? More directionality, I guess, especially going to be useful for first-person shooters and that kind of thing. Still a very cinematic kind of sound, though. The same punchy dynamic driver combined with the that additional balanced armature. We also, of course, can talk about price. Hey, price. You guys are going to want to know that. We are looking at $70, $69.95 for the mic only, $99.95 for the Solo, and $149.95 for the Duo. Yes, the blue ones you have are the Duo. Those are the ones with the additional BA included. Move this off my lap. And yeah, other than that, the only other thing in the box is the handy instruction manual in multiple languages. Sometimes required by law, sometimes just because we know we have a lot of customers in that area, so why not give them languages? We can also talk about warranty. Just like all of our products, our Kimuras will have a 2-year warranty. That is a standard warranty that includes manufacturing defect. Wear and tear is not included, but I will say that the cable part, that's the most likely thing to fail, and we will be making sure that all of our first customers, those of you who are purchasing it in that first generation, are going to be covered for at least a year on that cable. So we're just going to do that out of the kindness of our hearts. How long will the warranty last? After that, we don't know. We don't really know what the longevity of this cable is going to look like. But even standard wear and tear, we're going to cover for that first year. Yes, wireless when? That's what everybody will undoubtedly be asking first. The answer to that question is we're going to see how demand looks for this product line as a whole. We don't expect any first product launch we do to be like a smashing success. I think it's going to be successful. I think it's a good product. But we're going to learn a lot from this, and we want to see, what the general market looks like, and then we will see if it's worth investing in the amount of technology it'll take to get the wireless version of this out. So I'm just reading, is the mic itself the same as the Uni or the USB mod mic? It is not the same. It is significantly smaller. Where do I have? Well, here's the wireless, right, for size comparison. It is a much smaller, even without the foam tip, it is much smaller. But we spent a lot of time and energy trying to find the right electric capsule for this. We actually tested MEMS microphones as well. In the end, we stuck with the technology we know and the technology that produces the best results so far. It does not have a pop filter. It is a vented aluminum housing around it to reduce plosives. Where to submit demand? It'll be available on our website probably right after the stream. I'm going to make it live on the sly, so you guys can just jump in and make a purchase. I think in Discord people may have already found links to it, so that's a possible too. It is technically live on the site. What other questions do we have out there? Throw them out there, and I'll get to them. I'm being reminded that I didn't really answer if there'll be an anime mascot. No, there won't be. Duo being in red is a great question. We definitely had to make a decision on if we were going to opt for multiple colors, and the answer is not immediately. We just don't know how many of these things we're going to need. Is basically the long and the short of it. Once we understand the product demand, we can figure out if multiple color options. But for now, red solo, blue duo. We actually had a purple as well. I love the color of it. I definitely want to see it. It was originally going to be sort of like a high-priced, super high technical microphone, super high technical IEM. So something that wasn't cinematic. We decided to pull that about halfway through development, simply because, again, we don't really understand the market well enough to know for sure. So we figure 2 products is a good starting point, and we'll save the expensive product for further down the road. Can we make an adapter so that you can use it with a regular mod mic magnet? Well, we certainly can consider it. We have our 3D print lab. That sounds like a really great 3D print lab project. So maybe somebody out there with some 3D print skills would be the better place than us directly. Yeah, so I have a question here about ear tips. Yes, there are 3 sizes. I didn't really show them off because they're really just standard silicone ear tips. But you can see them. I can't even get them out of the little box holder. Another thing you'll notice, another flaw in the box design is these ear tips don't fit. This one fell out. Oh, no, this is the one I took out. This one fell out. Yeah, we got a few minor adjustments to make to the box, to the packaging, but I'm really pleased with it. But yeah, 3 standard, small, medium, large silicon ear tips, 1 universal memory foam ear tip set. And then, of course, the attachment for the ear tips is standard size, so you should be able to attach essentially any preferred ear tips you have, would be my guess. Any other questions? We got through this real fast because I'm a fast talker, and I apologize for that. I really tried to slow down, and I failed. IEMs purchased separately from the mic. Yes, that's something we also talked about. It is something we want to offer in the future. Again, at the start, we're just going to have them in the sets. The reality is we don't have a great sense of where to price them. That was one of the things we didn't. Like, we know roughly what the cable's worth and what the IEM should be worth. So, yeah, we need to make sure that the economics of that work out before we do it. Would the mic benefit from a preamp or regular mic jack on a PC be sufficient? That has more to do with line noise than it does to do with power or anything like that. This is a very, due to its tiny size and because they're IEMs, they're very low, they have low voltage requirements for both. So I don't think anything's going to have trouble powering them. We sometimes hear that with the Mod Mic Uni, that the regular 3.5 point port is too quiet for it. I don't think we're going to see that with this. For instance, I can't really talk. I have it plugged into a shit hell right now. So I don't have it plugged into my base PC, but my guess is I'd still have to turn down the volume significantly. I've got this down several decibels, and it's pretty low. The shit hell has an actual volume knob for its 3.5 millimeter, and that one's also very low. So, Cutie Pop says that he's used it on the front port of his PC without problem. Cutie Pop is one of our testers. We did have a bunch of people test this thing. We sent out about 100 test units to people all over the place, and all kinds of streamers and just regular customers. They all had to sign an NDA, and they've been sitting on that for about a year. So I apologize to everybody who's had to know about this thing and not been able to talk about it. It took much longer than expected to get this to market. It was supposed to launch before Christmas last year, before the holiday season. We just didn't get there in time. Alas, so here we are now. Yep, David says he likes the sound of the mic. Thank you very much. Can you expect a smaller mic on the mod mics in the future? How should I answer this? No. I think, and this is not confirmed, but we are likely going to be going in a slightly different direction with future mod mics. In fact, making the tip on them slightly larger in order to really get to that next quality level. So, we have Brendan, somebody who works for us, asking a question. Who's the intended audience for this? Who are we expecting to buy it, I guess? I think the answer to that is 1, gamers, 2, people working from home. I've had at least one person recently tell me that they don't wear their audiophile headphones on work calls because they don't want to be judged by everybody else on the call. I think this is a much more professional looking solution for some people. I love wearing my professional R70Xs on my head. I think that makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But of course, I work for an audio company, so maybe it's different for different companies out there. I wanted to mention availability as well. These will be available from our site basically today at some point in the very near future. They have limited availability in certain countries, though. I need to actually update the site to let you know which countries are currently have them in stock for each product. We expect those product shortages to get sorted out over the next week. I don't think it's going to be very long. You can put your orders in now, and we will contact you and let you know if there's a delay or anything. Just expect there to be some hiccups, especially in Canada and probably the UK and Europe a little bit. How does it do in rejecting background noise? Well, Not not phenomenally is the answer. It is an omnidirectional mic, but it is housed in a casing with essentially a unidirectional port. So I would say that it has some noise rejection, but you're probably going to want to run software side noise reduction for best results. That would be my opinion and advice. I don't think it's going to do well. We had the Oregon State University team, the esports team, test these, and they said that it performed fine at LAN events. So I guess it good enough for that at the very least. One thing I'll also mention as far as sound isolating goes, the IEMs themselves, because of that resin, which is really, really soft, it makes a really good seal in your ears. It is very noise isolating to the extent where I have to like check to make sure I'm not shouting at you guys while I'm streaming here, which if I am, I apologize. With an adapter, will it work on mobile devices with USB-C? Yeah, absolutely. As long as you have a 3.5 millimeter adapter with the challenge you'll have is that usually those USB-C adapters are single port, so it's a TRRS port for a headset. And again, this terminates in the 2, so you'd end up with a weird chain of the Y adapter and then a USB-C adapter, but it would work in that format. Or if you can find a USB-C adapter with a mic and headphone separate, it should work just fine. I just don't know if any off the top of my head. They probably exist somewhere though. So yeah, this is the Kimura. We're very excited to do this. Again, it's been a long time coming. I don't want to get too far into the details, but this was being worked on back in the pandemic, and then pandemic and everything just fell apart in the world, and this item sort of just got moved further and further down the line until we are here today. But we are very, very pleased with how it's turned out. Oh, and the boss would kill me if I didn't mention it has a shirt clip. This thing is clipped to my shirt to reduce microphonics. That's the sound you get from touching cables and things. It is a snazzy shirt clip. We've got Maville thinking about using them for VR. I think the wireless is still going to be the go-to VR product, but if your VR headset had a 3.5 millimeter port, it would work. How much does the IEMs and mics weigh? Not much. I actually don't have an answer to that off the top of my head. A couple ounces, at best. Very little. This mic is super light. Yeah, I'm sure the cable weight is probably equal to the weight of everything else. Well, let's see. There's also a cinch, a wire cinch if you want to be like, whoop, whoop, like you're a cowboy. Again, it's just a handy little addition on there. I'm sure somebody out there is wondering about, is this an oxygen-free, platinum-plated cable? No, it's a really nice copper cable. We don't personally, as a company, buy into the super expensive cable concept. I know that's a point for some people and a negative for others, but it is what it is. Where can we get the custom Antlion Patagonia you're wearing? Well, the only way to get one of those is to become an Antlion Audio employee. You can always send your resumes to customer service at antlionaudio.com. We are always looking for excellent audio engineers, as well as anybody who thinks they have a talent that we could really make use of. So, yes, that's the only way to get one of these guys. We used to sell the shirts. I'm doubling up here. We used to sell the regular shirts on our site. Unfortunately, we don't have any left anymore, but someday we'll bring them back if we can ever find the time to get them restocked. Yeah, no gold-plated fiber cable. Not yet. Again, we did talk about a fancy version, though, so who knows what will happen with a fancy version. The mods now want to know if they can get Patagonia jackets. I'll talk to our boss about it and see. That's the answer. Yes, somebody's already posted some links to our site where you can find them. Again, it's not technically live yet, but the links to purchase things will work. And again, I'll have our support team reach out to you if you've purchased it from somewhere that is currently out of stock in that region. We are keeping a close eye on that. And again, yeah, I'll have the messages up as to where it is in stock and where it isn't over the next hour here after the stream. Yeah, Brendan doesn't have one. He joined too late to get the this order of them. I think these were a Christmas gift last year from the boss. They're super nice though. They were super nice. We had prior to that, I never even got the there was like a dress shirt that we made one year too for staff. I never got that one, like a polo. Brendan is just too new. Poor guy. Poor guy. So yeah, this is the Antlion Kimura. This is the Antlion Solo that you're seeing. The Duo box is beside me. Is here still again with the wrong picture. See, it's red. That it frustrates me to no end. We'll have a whole blog post about this misprint situation and how it happened. But for you guys, the long story short is our printers like they messed this up because they forgot to remove the masking layer and they never sent a proof. And by the time we found out about it, they'd already all been boxed. And the printer and our manufacturer offered to pay to have them all shipped back to China and reboxed. But it's really against our company ethos to like create that level of pollution, not just the wasted boxes, but flying things back and forth for essentially no reason. We expect these to mostly be sold online where the box misprint won't really matter. So that's the story. That's the situation. Long story short of it. But yeah, we really we're really sad when we saw it. But yeah, not sad enough that we're gonna cause a bunch of pollution just to get a box right. Yeah, that's the situation we find ourselves in. It's a tough call, but one that we're happy we made in the direction of the environment over making things perfect. And yeah, as I'll say in the blog post, maybe it'll be a collector's item someday. The Kimura box misprint, Generation 1. I know I'm keeping one around. I got a whole box of them off screen over there. That's right, the limited edition misprint Pro. Well, I'll stick around for a few more minutes, ask if anybody's got any further questions to ask. Otherwise, I'll be posting links here pretty soon. And yeah, so keep your eye on the general chat. I mean, you can already access it there. But man, you won't see the cool front page that we made. Yes, the commercial. In a second, I'm gonna play our video, which somebody else already linked to again with their clever Googling skills. I knew you guys could do it. But yeah, we once again called on the talents of Scotchbox. If you've seen our videos before, he's the same British, I think he's actually Scottish, hence the name, gentleman. Who, yeah, they've once again done a killer job. We've also got at the end of that video, I believe, you won't see it here, but when you find it on YouTube, it links to our tutorial video on just how to like get this thing in your ear and get it wrapped around right. It doesn't take very long. Like I can do it live here. Just pop it out, put it in, twist, double check that it's nice and secure back here, and you're done. So it's pretty simple once you got it down. But you know, we expect at least some people out there, this might be their first pair of IEM. So we got a little tutorial video on how to stick them in your ear right and without too much confusion. It's one of those things that you don't realize that people don't know how to do it until you run into somebody who's never put in a pair of IEMs before, and then you think back to the first time you saw them, you're like, which one's left and which one's right? So just funny how we can take those kinds of things for granted. All right, well, it's looking pretty quiet, so I'm gonna play video, roll credits. Thank you all for being here. I know it was pretty short, 35 minutes, but that's the perfect amount of time to see my face. So I appreciate everybody's just hanging out and asking those great questions. If you have more questions, please drop them into general, tag staff, and I will answer them to the best of my ability, as technical or as non-technical as you want to get. Oh, one more question just came in. Is there a slider for adjusting the points where the cables meet? There is not. We definitely talked about the right place to put this junction. We think we've got it right for everybody. We had like a modular idea for this area where you could change that length and adjust it. However, what we really found was once we got the length right, nobody wanted that feature anymore. So we hope that our head sizes are close to most head sizes, and that very few people, if anybody, was going to have a problem with where this junction occurs. But yeah, that was a great question, and I'm glad I managed to get to it before the end. Oh, one more. Any plans for a cable with inline mic controls? Not currently. Maybe a Generation 2 item. There's no mute function on this either. So yeah, the same thing. We find that the mute causes about as many problems as it solves. In that, by having the mute, obviously it's a nice feature on the Mod Mic Uni. On an IEM product, it's kind of bulky and heavy. We found, even if we make it pretty small. Like it just makes it less streamlined. But most importantly, that junction is a major fail point of any product. And to maximize the longevity of these things, I mean, IEM cables themselves are just finicky products to begin with. We really don't want to make that any worse than it's already going to be. So that's why we did not go with the mute unmute. However, again, a second version of this, hopefully in the future, we'll see what we can do about inline controls for both the IEM and the microphone. Any last questions before we get to the video? To mute, use scissors. Not recommended. Definitely not covered in the warranty. Okay. I'm just checking Discord to make sure there aren't any last questions. I'm going to roll credits, baby. Thank you guys so much for being here, seeing my face again. I'm Joe, and now you know what I look like. Please don't assault me in the street. It's not my fault. And have a great day.
Introducing the Kimura microphone, the ultimate professional-grade mic that attaches to almost any in-ear monitors. It sounds so good, we've recorded this entire video with it. The microphone is named the Kimura after a martial arts hold.
A very good hold.
It's designed to stay in place, whatever you're doing. So now you can have award-winning vocal clarity on a microphone that is sleek, comfortable, ultra-lightweight, with a specially designed cable for your IEMs. The Kimura in-ear headset comes with two IEM options. The Kimura Solo, with a premium single dynamic driver for cinematic bass, and the Kimura Duo, with a dynamic driver and balanced armature for an extra layer of treble clarity. Transform your sound experience with the Kimura microphone and IEMs by Antlion Audio.